Well, we're here at the opening night of Magna Carta and the Foundations of Freedom at Fraunces Tavern Museum, and we're speaking with Fred Kellogg and Diane Kellogg.
We're very glad, Tony, to see you and to be able to enjoy this with you. Diane is thrilled to be here. Diane,
have you ever seen the Magna Carta before?
Yes, I have. I was in Salisbury Cathedral a number of years ago with my mother and sister, and we went to see it. They didn't have an elevator. You had to climb stairs.
Of course, we were younger, so we could do it. But
I loved it. And it's so nice to see yet another one. When there are only 4 copies, I've seen 50%.
John Loeb.
One of the great supporters here at Fraunces Tavern Museum and the Sons of the Revolution, and an author of a book recently. Can you tell us about it?
Well, I didn't write the whole book. I put it together. It's about my grandmother, through whom I'm descended. My grandmother was the daughter of the American Revolution, and the book traces her family back actually 3 centuries to 1697 with vignettes and biographies of all her ancestors, with little biographies and lots of portraits.
Is it a lot of New York ancestry?
It's all over the Eastern Seaboard. It's called Adeline Moses Loeb and her early American Jewish ancestors. And her picture is over there.
I was going to say, don't we have an Adeline Moses Loeb gallery right behind us? Okay, so make sure you see
something about that gallery is that John was the impetus that got
Strott, ladies and gentlemen,
an old president of the
former president of the Sons and a longtime member of the board.
The whole spirit that brought this whole gallery together, because before we had fire escapes out here. Really? And John saw that if we incorporated the whole area with galleries locking one to the other, we could set in motion what has transpired today. But without that, we'd be running over fire escapes, which have been impossible.
We certainly would not have the Magna Carta here. Well, we thank you for both of your participation and contributions to the Sons, to Fraunces Tavern Museum, and it's great to see you here this evening. Thank you for joining us. All right. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with now?
The other Dr. Simpson.
The
younger Dr. Simpson.
Are you Larry's daughter?
Yes, I am.
Are you a dentist?
Yes, I am. I'm in the practice with him. Yeah,
Madness thing. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
So tell us what you've been doing this evening. What's going on?
So far, enjoying it. I brought 2 of other friends with us. We just went to visit the Magna Carta and enjoying the evening.
Taking in all the history.
Hello, I'm Andrea Holst Johnson.
And where are you from?
South Jersey, outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Paul Johnson, outside of Philadelphia and Mount Laurel.
Judy Bliss, New York City.
Well, welcome all, and thank you for joining us this evening. What do you think of the evening so far?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. We've been waiting for this for months. Yes. I'm a big supporter of the SR and Fraunces Tavern, and I come to all their events when I can. So,
how do you compare this event to the others you've been to?
Oh, this is spectacular. I've been to the other, speaker events and some of the flag ceremonies and stuff, but this is really spectacular.
Beautiful presentation, beautiful evening, and really important. Really important.
I don't mind my saying so.
Well, the coming together of these important documents for school children, especially in this day and age, you don't all have to be a member of the Sons of the Revolution. What's important is we're all Americans, and these documents provide freedoms for all of us. So whether you came here 200 years ago, your ancestors came at the turn of the century, or just came here last week, these are important documents to keep in mind and to remember, especially when there are countries in the world where people are suffering under rogue regimes.
Alan Millman.
And Ray Shepard.
What brings you gentlemen here this evening?
Colonel Lucas, John Loeb.
Same?
Well, the opportunity to see a great document, that's more.
So have you been through the line?
Yes, we sure have.
Did you have to wait a long time?
No, actually it went pretty quickly. It's tremendous.
So what are your impressions when you see it? Is Is it more than you thought, less than you thought, about the same? What strikes you when you look at that piece of paper? 800-year-old piece of paper.
I would say about the same, but if you look from a historical standpoint, I mean, it's a tremendous document. The foresight that people had in that time period was just tremendous. It's impactful still today.
How did it strike you?
Seeing it in person, you almost have a feeling of reverence for the fact that it's almost 800 years old.
It puts everything into perspective. You see the document, the original document that sort of found the great thinking that went along with this, and to see how it sort of transpired over history, it all puts it in good perspective.
Well, let's just have some quick introductions here. Some more of our guests here at Fraunces Tavern, the evening before the grand opening to the public of Magna Carta and the Foundations of Freedom. And who are we speaking to?
Charlotte Van Horn Squaresea.
And where do you live?
I'm in San Diego, actually, but I've been in for many of the Dutch celebrations, and because I've been on Dutch television under the very funny Man Bite Dog television program to welcome New Yorkers to the 400th.
Well, thank you for coming all the way from San
pleasure.
Diego. And you, sir?
James Kaplan. I've worked here in Lower Manhattan for 35 years, and I work at 40 Wall Street as a lawyer.
When people are new here, when you bring people here that have never been here before, what are some of the things that they find interesting or that they tend to ask you about? Anything come to mind?
Well, I think the long room of George Washington. I think there's a tremendous collection of related to the American Revolution, probably the best in the city in many ways. And I think people don't realize how important New York was in the Revolution. I think really the key of this museum is to educate people about the importance of New York in the Revolution, that it's as important as Boston or Virginia, but many people or most people don't know it.
Waiting to see the Magna Carta. Has anybody here seen it before?
No, I have not.
No, sir.
No.
Certainly not.
Certainly not. The first time. And you?
My first time.
They're all first-time Magna Carta visitations. Now, actually, sir, we know you. You're kind of involved with this building a little bit. Tell us who you are.
Phil from Cove Remodeling, my wife Linda.
Hello, Linda.
Hello.
We were here on a daily basis helping Charles along the way.
Well, tell us what you're doing. There are people watching this that have no idea what your company is doing at Fraunces Tavern.
We restored the entire tavern room by room. We worked on
Oh, is that all?
That's all, yeah, nothing major. Worked on the flag gallery for probably a month or so. And
this very room that we're in.
Yes, sir, this room here. Yeah, no, it's quite an accomplishment.
Who are we speaking to?
Rich Gazzola from Mako Plumbing.
Oh, mate. Nice to meet you. And you have one of the nicest comments about your wonderful hat and hand remark.
Well,
that's said.
We mean it when we say it. That's the type of integrity in a building like this.
So what is it like to work on plumbing in a building of this vintage?
Well, it's an ancient building. It's an old building. We're honored to be doing it. And every time we work in here, we're honored to do it.
Sir?
How are you?
Hi there.
Mike Rackerson, how are you?
Fine, Mike. Have you ever seen the Magna Carta before?
Well, luckily, my first time.
So how did you learn about this? How did you know to come here?
Proprietors here at Fraunces Tavern.
One of the I see. With one of Damon's partners.
Yes.
Oh, okay. One of the inheritors of Samuel Fraunces' tradition.
Yeah, I think so.
Be very nice to this man. He's involved in making us food. Anyway, enjoy. Thank you very much. Have you ever seen Magna Carta before?
No, of course not.
Do you have any idea what it's going to look like yet?
No, I don't.
Well,
I read it on the way here.
Oh, you read it? Where did you read it?
Well, I read it when we were driving from Massachusetts.
Oh, you mean you read the content of the Magna Carta?
Yes.
A studious visitor.
Yes.
That's excellent.
Ready for another Runnymede.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll try to keep it peaceful. It is possible for your organization to book a special event here at Magna Carta and the Foundations of Freedom at Fraunces Tavern Museum. You speak to this gentleman's daughter. Is that correct?
That's right, Allison.
Allison White.
Allison White, she's the lovely vision of beauty that you'll see.